Cyclone Mitchell has continued to rapidly intensify over the past 24 hours and is now a Category 1 equivalent tropical cyclone and is expected to continue to intensify before it makes landfall in Western Australia, where it will bring strong winds and potentially significant but isolated flooding. So anyways, let's get straight into this weather forecast. First of all, looking at the official forecast for Cyclone Mitchell, right now it has a very large wind field stretching from the coast of Australia to off the coast of Australia there. Decently large hurricane force wind field there. Right now it is about 75 knots wind speed, which is equivalent to 85 miles an hour, which is a Category 3 on the Australian scale, a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, so that makes a Category 1 equivalent cyclone right now. Is expected to strengthen to 85 knots sometime later today or tomorrow, where it will become a Category 2 equivalent cyclone before making landfall in Western Australia, before eventually weakening to 60 knots, then 45 knots, then 30 knots once it moves inland, although it will still bring strong sustained winds and even strong wind gusts even when it weakens, and it could also bring some significant flooding as well, but we'll talk about that a little later in this forecast. Next, looking at our active warning and watch zones, just to let you guys know, I'm probably going to butcher about half of these town names and city names because I do not live anywhere close to Australia, but I'm going to give it a try. So, right now we have a warning from Reborn to Coral Bay, including Karratha, Onslow, and Exmouth, and extending inland through the western Pilbara to include Penawanica, which sounds like a decently large area there. That's probably where you're going to have your highest winds there. So if you're in that area or you know anyone in that area, make sure you are prepared or they are prepared. And we do have a watch from Coral Bay to Carnarvon and adjacent inland areas. So if you are in those areas, you may not receive as many impacts, but you will still receive some significant impacts. So make sure you prepare in those areas. Right now, as I said before, you can see sustained winds of about 130 kilometers an hour, about 80 miles an hour there. About the same as what I said earlier, just a little lower. Wind gusts up to 185 kilometers an hour, which is Category 4 wind gusts. Right now it's a Category 3 on the Australian scale, Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Right now it's moving southwest at 15 kilometers an hour, which is probably about 10 miles an hour, maybe just a little under that. Finally, looking at a few of our weather models here, we're looking at the HWRF first. You can see right now it has it at about 973 millibars and about 70 to 75 knots, which is about the same as the official forecast, but this does slightly differ from the official forecast, and I will show you guys why in a second. So you can see generally has this weakening as it gets closer to landfall, still hurricane force, but you can see it has it basically traveling right over that small peninsula there in Western Australia, and then emerging off the coast there, and even strengthening a little before making another landfall, before eventually moving inland and finally weakening off before dissipating somewhere over rural Western Australia there. Looking at the GFS next, you can see the GFS has it being a lot smaller, 971 millibars, 2 millibars lower, but generally maybe a little weaker. And you can see the GFS has it weakening a lot before making any sort of landfall there, and it actually has it becoming a weak tropical storm there, and eventually by the time it makes it to central Western Australia there, it's already basically a low pressure system, and it'll likely still have at least some tropical storm force wind gusts at that time there. And next, looking at the Euro, the EMCWF, you can see right now it has a 982 millibars, which is pretty high, but the Euro is not known for having good pressure, and you can see it does have it strengthening some, but generally doesn't get anywhere close to the Category 3 cyclone on the Australian scale, the Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson scale that they're showing. And you can see generally it kind of almost stalls for a little bit there, before generally just moving off to the south, maybe causing some isolated wind gusts there. Oh, I messed up! Anyways, I have just a couple quick announcements to end this video. First of all, thank you all for the 800 subscribers. At 1,000 subscribers, I will have another announcements video with even more huge changes, even more big announcements. So if you have already, please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can hit 1,000 subscribers quicker. Second of all, I'm going to release a Chonkita sticker sometime this year, probably within the next few months. It should be in my green screen right now, so if you'd be interested in buying that when it comes out, leave a comment down below about what you think about it. Goodbye.